Okay, guys, we got some new news for you. I am so excited. I just got back from my walk and I could not wait to get on camera and talk to you about what is going on this morning. So I wake up and I'm reading this Breitbart news article, and I am not happy with Breitbart these days because they came down really hard, if you remember, last week on Lynn Wood. Now, Lynn Wood is that attorney who is doing so much in Georgia to try to help fight this election fraud. So I wasn't happy. They called him out for being a Democrat, sheep in wolves clothing, pretending like he's all helping Trump and everything. Well, he is, and he's doing it pretty much pro bono. So shut up, Breitbart. But let's get back to the article that Breitbart came out with. So apparently last night, really late, like around midnight, a lawsuit gets filed where in the Supreme Court by Texas. Who saw that coming? I did not. And so what happened was Texas is suing in the Supreme Court for this equal protection clause. Now, I got on camera yesterday and I talked to you a little bit about two issues that I think are going to be huge in all of this. And we're going to be hearing a lot more about equal protection, as well as, and this has to do with voting, and that's a federal law, but it's also a statewide law too. So equal protection, and especially with regard to Pennsylvania with that Act 77. Remember, I've been talking to you guys about this for weeks. And if you want more information, make sure to go to my blog, which is the Deplorable Report.com. I get into a lot more specifics there about Act 77, but it's all boiling down to this, guys. The dominoes are falling. Who knew? We all knew that Trump was a 3D chess player, but who knew he was a 3D domino player? Okay, so here's the deal. So Texas just sued in the Supreme Court, and now you're going to start seeing a lot of lawsuits coming down on the Supreme Court. I talked to you yesterday about Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania. He filed a lawsuit that is now in the hands of Sam Alito. But this now coming out of nowhere from Texas. So Texas, who, I mean, they're not even in all of this debate. So what they are claiming, and rightfully so, is that 4 states voted unequally, basically. And what equal protection in voting has to do with, it means like if you vote and I vote, we need to have the same rights as far as our votes are concerned. They need to be counted the same. We need to be treated the same. And that's not what happened. What Texas is claiming is that Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia all treated their votes differently. And that's because of the mail-in debacle. And if you recall, and I'm just going to explain really quick again about Act 77, because that is critical. In Pennsylvania, they have this state act called 77, and it has to do with how all their voting goes, their electoral votes, election law, all that stuff. So in 2019, Act 77 was changed to allow mail-in votes. And what happened just before the election, and this is critical to understand, and it's also complicated. This is how the Dems work. They want to create chaos, complication. They're hoping that we're going to be so confused that we're not going to be able to follow all of this. That is, by the way, Saul Alinsky tactic number 3. Whenever possible, go outside the experience of your enemy. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get us so confused. Don't be confused. This is really actually quite simple. So Act 77, back a couple of weeks, actually about a month before the election, a month or two before the election, the Democrats in Pennsylvania thought they'd be really smart. And what they did was they went to the legislature, which is where all laws are made or supposed to be made. They went to their legislature, who was Republican controlled. Remember, that's critical to understand, because they said to the legislature, look, what we want to do is we want to extend the voting for 3 days, so that all mail-in ballots have time to come in. And they were trying to blame this on COVID, that people can't get out and what have you. Okay, so what happened then is that the Republican-controlled legislature said, no, we're not buying that. We're not going to approve that as law, and we're not amending Act 77. So instead, the Democrats then went to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and they got the law changed there, which is not where you get laws changed, right? So what happened now, Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania just filed a lawsuit with the Supreme Court, and another fellow, another senator, these are state senators, I believe both, Doug Mastriano, he's also going to be filing a suit. And basically what they're saying is that that was unconstitutional, that the Democrats could not go to the Supreme Court of the state and have that changed. Okay, so all of this is coming before the United States Supreme Court, and Sam Alito already directed once that this issue could come before him after elections, and that he would keep that open. And he just expedited this case. So they're going to be hearing this case on the 8th, which I think is today, isn't it? I haven't looked at my calendar yet. But folks, do not lose hope. A lot is going on behind the scenes. And Texas just came out of nowhere. And I just love this because now if they determine, if the Supreme Court determines that this is all unconstitutional, guess what? Those 4 states, all of their voting could be in jeopardy. So stay tuned, guys, and make sure to tune into my my blog, where I write in a lot more detail than I can tell you what's going on here. But stay tuned. Don't lose hope. Trump is going to be our president in 2021. Have a great day, guys.